Hi, and thank you for joining us here today at SunLync. Today we're going to go through the Fitzpatrick skin typing survey setup. Basically what the Fitzpatrick's survey setup is, it's a standardized set of questions across the tanning industry that allows you to map certain customers to specific skin types automatically based on the input of the customer with questions that you have set up in your database or within your system. There's 4 steps to this. First is setting up your questions, and then your surveys, and then setting up the mapping. Your questions are pretty standard. I pulled some actually from a website that has some of those survey questions and answers listed on it. Obviously, this is going to differ from salon to salon, so please seek advice of your owner or manager if you're responsible for setting this up. The 4th step really is to contact the SunLync's support department once you have all your questions and surveys and mapping set up. We will also check that if you contact us to request having this switched over to the new skin typing system. But it's really important that you have all your questions and things like that set up, though. Without that, your customers will be stuck at the insert screen without being able to complete their skin typing. So it's really important that you have your questions, surveys, and mappings complete before switching it over. If you do not, and you have skin typing as a required field at point of sale, which most salons do, you will not be able to insert a new customer. So we'll dive right into it. First thing you want to keep in mind is that under the security templates, this new option will be controlled by the skin type parameter option here. So skin type parameter option. So if you do not want to allow some employees to have access to this in back office, this is the option that you would uncheck or check if you want them to have access to it. Now that was already there pre-version 9 with the older skin typing system. So if somebody had access to it in the past, they should have access to it now. They will not, however, have access to switch over from using the old system to the new system. Only the SunLync support team will be able to do that for you. So the first step really is to go into parameters here. And under skin types, there is a new option, Fitzpatrick surveys, and then manage questions. So your first step is going to be to set up your question. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll go through a couple of these and then we'll fast forward into the next step. So really the first question I have here on my list of examples is, what is the color of your eyes? And so to set up that question, you hit insert here at the bottom. And then for my title, I'm just going to add that as my title as well. And then the text. And then your scoring down here, what you'd want to do is type in the answers, right? So with the Fitzpatrick system, it's on a scale of 0 to 4 per question. And so your first answer here will be graded as a 0, last question, or last answer here, a 4. So I'm just going to copy and paste my answers here I have on my other screen to save you time. And then, like I said, I'll go through one more after this one, just to give you an idea of how to do everything here within the question. So once I have my answers there, I'll hit save, and then it'll confirm, and it'll let you know that it's been saved successfully. A couple things to keep in mind here: date added and last modified dates are here at the top right. And like I said, your brownish black answer here will be a score of 4 towards your total, and then light blue, gray, or green will score a 0 towards your total value. And so I'll go ahead and proceed with the next question here, which is what is the color of your hair? And then the answers for that. And I'll go ahead and hit save on that. Same thing applies here. Your answers basically are on a sliding scale from 0 to 4. Sandy red is a score of 0 toward your total, and black is a score of 4. And so I'll go ahead and finish up with the next ones, and then I'll be right back with you. Alright, now we have our questions complete here. So we've entered all of them with an answer in each slot here. as you can see, and there's a total of 8 questions. And the way that the mapping works, once we get to that part, is it calculates the max based on the amount of questions you have, the max score that you can have in your survey. And so we'll get to that in a moment, but just wanted to mention that. And so once you completed all your questions, go ahead and hit close. All right, now that we have our questions and answers set up, the next step is to go in and insert your surveys and affiliate it to a store. So what you can do is go into parameters and then skin types under Fitzpatrick surveys, click on manage surveys, and then by default there will be nothing there. You can actually set up surveys per store or as a blanket survey across all your locations. And to do that, go ahead and hit insert, and then you would select the store on the left hand side there. And so like I said, you can either do a default survey, which would blanket all your stores, or do each individual location with a different survey. I'm going to go ahead and select default there, and then go ahead and add my questions. And so if you click this drop down, you will see them, and there should be 8. And so we're going to go ahead and select and add all 8 of them. And so if you didn't want to add one of the questions, you don't necessarily have to. I'm going to go ahead and add all of mine. Okay, and there's 8 questions there, and I'm going to go ahead and adjust a couple of them and order them to the top. Alright, and that'll be the order in which they show up at POS when you go through. And then you just go ahead and hit save, and then it'll confirm that it's been saved successfully. Hit OK. And then it'll ask you if you want to map the scores for this new survey, and then obviously you'd want to go ahead and add those. So hit yes. And then so since you have 8 questions here, the max amount of points you can have is 32. So 4 times 8 is 32. So if you attempt to go over that, it's going to give you a prompt that you cannot. So we won't attempt it, but there is a failsafe there if you attempt to make number 6, let's say 36 plus. Obviously you can't get 36 with 32 points, so it'll give you a error message that has to be in the range. And so for now I'm going to do for skin type of 1, or a Fitzpatrick skin type of 1, that's going to be between 0 and 6 points. And then a Fitzpatrick skin type of 2, it's going to be between 7 and 12 in my instance. And so you can set these up however you like. And then type 3, 13 to 18. And then type 4 will be 19 to 24. And 25 to 30 will be 5. And then 31 plus will be skin type 6. And you just want to make sure they're not overlapping. So as you can see here, none of my numbers overlap, so make sure you confirm that before you hit save. We'll go ahead and hit save here. And then it'll ask you if you want to save the score mapping. Hit yes, and then OK. And then that's pretty much it for the surveys. And now that you've created your skin mapping and your surveys for your stores, the next step really is to map your Fitzpatrick's skin types to the default skin types that you created in SunLync originally. And so the reason you want to do that is just so the system will know how these skin types line up in comparison with the new skin typing system. So if you have more than 6, then you'd have to, obviously with the Fitzpatrick scaling there's only 6, so you'd have to map 2 or more to one Fitzpatrick skin type. But in my instance, in my defaults skin types, I had 6 of them, so I'm just going to map them 1 to 1. So I'll go ahead and click on Always Burns or Skin Type of 1 and map that to the Fitzpatrick type of 1 as well, and then so on and so forth. And then once we've done that, that's pretty much all the steps that you need to do within back office to get that up and running. The next step is to contact our support department, where we can check those things, make sure they're all set up correctly, and then run the update script to enable that across your salons, which then you'd have to make sure that all salons restart point of sale to enable that. What we'll go ahead and do here is show you at point of sale in the next video here how to insert a customer with the new skin typing system. So we'll be right back. Alright, so now we completed all three steps of setting up the questions, the surveys, and skin type mapping. Our next step really is to show you how it works at POS. So we're going to go ahead and log into POS here. And then we're going to go ahead and insert or test insert a customer and insert our password. And then I'm just going to call this customer test. Customer, and his address is going to be 44 Fig Street in Buffalo. And cell phone number and home phone number. And I need a date of birth, so that's going to be January 1st of 1950. Blue eyes, male. And then you see here the drop down for skin type isn't available. Directly to the right of that there is a avatar button there that you'd click to go through the survey. And so the first question here is what is your color? What is the color of the eyes? And so I'm going to go ahead and hit blue and then go through the questions and hit next after each question is answered. So now that you're done, it'll give you a score of 17 or a skin type of 3, and then the option here to save the selection will be there. So we'll go ahead and hit save, and then you'll see there that it will populate 3 burns moderately. And then go ahead and hit process new customer. So this customer is now inserted into the system with the skin type of 3, burns moderately. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions with the Fitzpatrick Skin Typing survey setup, please give us a call at 866-SunLync or shoot us an email at support@sunlync.com. Our hours are from 8 to 9 p.m. for our platinum customers during the week, or 8 to 6 during the weekend, and 8 to 6 during the week for our gold customers. Thank you again. Have a great day.